No, it is a part of MDM only. Means, see, MDM, whatever UI we are seeing here, this is just for the developers. So anyone other than the developers who want to look into the data or want to manipulate the data, they will give access to the IDD application. So because this is fully configurable things where I am just coming and configuring the things. But anyone who wants to view that actual data, they have to come through the IDD only.
Okay.
So users we create in the MDM, and we will assign all the roles and privileges we assign, and then based on that, they will be able to access the data in MDM.
So that is a thin client or something like that, URL?
Yes, that's a separate URL will be there for that. That's again a web-based application. So these are the basically types of relationship we can have in the MDM side. And now if we go to the same schema viewer, we can now check that relationship between address and the lookup table. So this is the relationship here. You can see address table, and that's a country LKP country table. So that's basically a parent table for the custom address table. So this is the relationship part, like what are the types of relationship we can have in the MDM side, and how do we go about creating the relationship. And we also see like how to create the base objects and how to import the columns from other tables or the temporary table that we have created in the backend. Because as a part of lab, if you are following the lab, in the lab it will ask you to import like the columns from some temporary tables. So that will be created in your ORS, which will be present. So it will ask you to use the import feature and import the columns from some specific tables. So that's why I showed you that import scenario also. So the relationship is done. Now tables are created, relationship is done, and now we need to define the lookup process, because I have created the relationship, the parent relationship and the child relationship, but I need to define the lookup process. Basically, how MDM will know that this record is a parent record or a child record. So while loading the data into the child table, I need to specify that this address belongs to a particular customer. So how do we do that part? Because in the normal Oracle side, if you say whatever is the primary key, the same you will pass in the foreign key. But here it's little bit different. We don't pass the primary key value. We pass some other value, which gets converted into the primary key. So how that conversion happens, that is part of a lookup process. So we'll discuss about that lookup process tomorrow, and we'll practically load the data and see the data in the tables, how the lookup is transforming the data.
So all these relationships are only in MDM, or there is something on the Oracle side also, backend?
No, it is mainly on the MDM side. In the backend, it's not similar to what we create. Like usually we go and create that relationship, that you won't find. It is like basically maintained in the MDM side.
Oh.
That's
So MDM actually holds the metadata, or it actually holds the data in real?
only the metadata part. But all the relationships and lookup it maintains in the metadata part only. In the actually only the tables will be there and the data will be there. So basically the same place,
Okay.
everything in only one schema we have everything, metadata and the data also.
Data of what?
Data and the metadata both are in the same place.
I mean, data backend, the data will be holded into the Oracle tables or the DB2 tables, whatever is the database,
Yes.
and this metadata of
That was also in the
the
same table
MDM,
also. Whatever we are creating here, everything is getting stored in the tables, repository tables. So for example,
both reside in the same place,
yeah,
like
same place.
MDM repository tables as well as the database tables, both are in the same place.
Yes, they both are in the same place. So we have only one schema which maintains everything.
Like it's a corporate database, right? Uh, like it's a data, like total company's database is in one data warehouse, and You mean to say this MDM repository resides in that data warehouse?
In the ETL side, we can say like there is a separate repository and data will be separate, but here like it is the same one. So I can show you, let me open it. So I'm just going through the SQL developer here, and so here in this one, I have the tables. For example, the address one table that we had just created. So this address one table is
Yes.
present here. Plus in MDM, like all the repository tables will be there, which starts with C underscore. So this is the tables basically C underscore repos. So C underscore repos are basically the repository tables which stores all the data. So for example, we have created some tables here. So if you want to know the columns, there is a table like C repos table. So I can go and check in that table.
In real-time scenario also, this is the way the repository is maintained?
Yes, it's the same. So I have this repository table. In this I can go and I can search for the table name like which we have created. So based on the update it. So here you can see the tables will be there. Address one table that we have created. This address table one is present here. So all the metadata changes, whatever changes we are doing from the MDM is getting stored in all the repository tables, which is underscore repos. And the data is
Okay.
also residing in the same place. So everything is in the same ORS or schema.
Okay.
Usually in like Oracle, we have a separate schema for system tables that contain the basically metadata.
Yes.
But here it looks like it's all together.
Yes, correct. Here it's all together in a same place.
So when we create this model,
Yeah.
and it creates the metadata, does it create the tables at the same time, physical tables, or it's
It
another
is.
step?
Yeah, it is creating. I just showed you the table. Like we had created these tables, address one and customer one. This customer one table like we had created. Okay, not this is the landing table.
Okay.
This is the customer
So
one table.
it's immediately we make changes that create the table,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, immediately
Okay,
like
create
yes, correct.
everything happens at the same.
Yeah, so it is not recommended to go into backend and do anything. Whatever table you want to create a column, you want to insert a new column or delete a column, you should do it from the MDM UI only, because internally
Mhm.
it generates its own IDs. So for every table, every column, there is a unique ID which generates, and it is available in many columns. So if you just go and create in the backend, it won't work. And it will throw an error also that we'll see later, like when we do, there is a metadata validation. So once we validate the metadata, it will throw an error if you have done something in the backend.
Okay.
You showed us the import, and I think you said that we can only import
The
columns, right?
columns, yes, correct. We cannot import a full table. So first of all, we have to create a table, any table like a base object table, or we can create a base object table or the landing tables, and then we can import all the columns from any like temporary table which we have created.
Oh, so that's how we are going to use the Erwin. So if we are having the model ready with the Erwin, we have to create the select statement or the create the table statement from there and create it on our separate database and then import it. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, means that is what I told. Erwin, you can create the model, but you cannot import into the MDM side. So using Erwin, for
Well,
example, if you can create all the tables, temporary tables in the MDM as a
yes,
temporary table,
yes.
and then once the tables are created, I can come to MDM, create a table, and import all the columns from that temporary table. That we
Columns.
can do.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
kind of hard to believe that there's no way to import the whole table or definitions.
Yes, yes,
Like Irvin has the reverse engineering option, right?
yes,
So you can have a database already, existing database, and you can import it completely into Irvin and modify the way you want it.
yes, yes.
Uh,
Correct.
it's strange that there's no such option here.
Yes, yes. Here we don't have that option.
Is it done on purpose? Because probably like the whole model and the structure of the tables will be very similar
Yeah,
to the sources.
yeah, exactly. Mostly it is nearly similar to resources. And like as I told,
Right.
like whatever, it's a normal ER modeling also. There is no difference between the normal ER model and the MDM part.
Why are they forcing us to create the model again? Like why?
That we have
What are
to,
the reasons?
no, it's not sure. We have to go to Informatica and check with them because in one tool,
It would be
one tool,
much easier.
yeah, in like the Informatica or the this data quality, they are importing all the tables. In MDM, they are not allowing only to import the columns. So something difference they are making so that all the tools doesn't become similar, so that they can sell all the all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Vinay, I mean, what George is asking is like, it's kind of good question. The reason is like, why Informatica is blocking this approach of importing the table as we do in Power Center or
Yes,
Quality Center? So, is there any specific purpose why they are blocking it, or just to make a difference, they are just blocking it?
probably not sure about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because it's correct. Like in Power Center, we can
Yes,
import the whole definition, right?
Yes.
So it looks like it's really blocked here. It's done on purpose.
yes, probably.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, thanks.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Yeah, thanks everyone. We'll continue tomorrow with this lookup process.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks everyone. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.